Pdubs Arcade Loft is a channel made by adults for adults.
Arcade1Up is making a Star Wars Pinball Machine? We knew a pinball machine was coming at CES. We've predicted it time and time again on this channel. But Star Wars? And it got leaked? What the hell's going on? Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to Pdubs Arcade Loft. This is another episode of the Loft Report. Hate to be dropping so much news clips on ya. Love doing product reviews, love doing funny videos and all that kind of stuff. But it's CES time, baby. That's right. Lots and lots of news coming out, so we're probably going to have lots and lots of clips that will be dropping on this YouTube channel as well as on my podcast, which you definitely want to check out. The Loft Report is available on every single podcast medium. We're going to be running a podcast diary throughout the CES show, as well as we're going to be going live on YouTube and all that kind of stuff. So we're definitely going to be sharing with you what we know, when we know it, when we can. So I was blown away today, just like all of you, with what happened. All right, so what happened yesterday, January 3rd? You are 3 or 4 days away from CES. You're ready to drop a bombshell. You're ready to drop the mic. You're ready to announce your digital pinball machine to the world. And Arcade1Up unfortunately had their thunder stolen out from under them today. And to give you a quick rundown on what happened, Arcade1Up was working on their website, getting their new screens, you know, how they have screens for all the different pages and products on their website, etc., etc., etc. And they obviously are getting, for all their new products, they're obviously getting all those screens on their website ready to go. That way, the minute they're announced at CES, they can turn those web pages live on their web page. So they were testing their web page, trying to get the pinball machine pages ready to go. And unfortunately, they had it set to public. They didn't have it set to private. They had something set up wrong where it could be seen. And at the same time that it was visible, YouTuber Toy Circus happened to be on their website checking things out. And Kit, who's Toy Circus, a friend of mine, saw the web pages, immediately took some screenshots of the information and posted a YouTube video and dropped that YouTube video. And Kit, I gotta say, you broke the internet today. Okay, so Kit breaks the internet, leaks or kind of spoils that we're gonna get a Star Wars Pinball Machine on YouTube, gets on Reddit, gets on other websites, Pinside, things of that nature, spreads like wildfire. Every single arcade Facebook group starts sharing it. Every single Arcade1Up Facebook group starts sharing it. Glens Retro Show, gotta love Glenn, got a Facebook group page up and running. All this happened within like a 30 to 45 minute time period. Everyone's going nuts. Everyone's excited. I'm excited because you know what? It's a freaking Star Wars pinball machine, guys. And it's going to be retailed around $500. That's right, because John and the folks from Arcade1Up hopped on the Tech Buzz. And if you guys don't know who the Tech Buzz is, it's my buddy Steven and his fantastic YouTube channels and all that stuff. Himself and Glenn from Glens Retro Show and Cooltoy, Douglas, they do a Friday night show that's dedicated to arcade products and retro products and talking about what's going on out there in the world. It's called the Retro Buzz. I'll post links in the video below for the stream they posted last night, as well as their channel. So you definitely want to subscribe to those guys and check out Arcade1Up being on their show. And Arcade1Up confirmed a whole bunch of details for us, guys. They had to let the cat out of the bag. They had to spill the beans. They did hold some stuff back, which I'm going to show you some pictures in a minute, and also my own personal speculations on how this machine is going to run. All right, guys, there she is. There's the leaked images that were discovered on the website and have been making their ways around the internet. As you can see, Arcade1Up has designed a new logo. It's only got one flipper on it. I was teasing them on the live stream tonight saying, hey, where's the second flipper? I was only kidding, guys. I honestly think that's a pretty cool logo. I actually do like the yellow highlight as well. Taking a look at the Star Wars machine itself, you have the what looks like the original trilogy artwork on the left side of the cabinet, and then on the right side of the cabinet, we're going to have the newer trilogy with Kylo Ren and Daisy Ridley or Rey and all those folks. We're going to have metal legs. The machine definitely looks narrower than the Toy Shock machine. And taking a look here, you got adjustable feet. Looks like you got a fake coin door where the power buttons and the volume button's going to be. Instead of a plunger to save on cost, it looks like they're just going to go with a push button launcher. We do have two screens. So we're going to dive into some of the specs here that we've discovered on all of this next. Okay, you filthy animals. Now, prior to the Arcade1Up taking down their leaked website pages, some screenshots were taken, and they've been making their way around the internet. I happen to find one right here, and it gives us a good detail on what this machine is going to have on it. So, for instance, it's going to be, let's see if we can get this all zoomed in for you. It's going to be Wi-Fi enabled on the live stream, on the RetroBuzz live stream. They mentioned that as of right now is supposedly only for patching any kind of firmware updates or things of that nature. I would assume it would be natural that they give us the ability to purchase and access more games. They are going to have the solenoids in there for haptic feedback, so we'll get a little bit of forced feedback. Built-in accelerometer for real nudge and tilt features. It's going to be a 3/4 scale device, just under 5 feet. It's going to be 59.5 inches. I believe the Toy Shock machine is about 51 inches from the floor to the top of the back box. This looks like it's going to be maybe about 8-9 inches taller. And I'm assuming that might also be with the feet fully extended. The backlit back glass with interchangeable artwork. I would love to hear more about that. And then they're going to have a 7-inch color LCD animated score screen built into the back box to replicate what a DMD does. Dual speakers with metal grills. And here's what's interesting as well. A recessed 24-inch high-definition LCD playfield. So the playfield itself on this Mini is equivalent to what the Toy Shock has as well. They have a 24-inch. However, as you can tell by the other pictures here, the Arcade1Up machine looks to be narrower, and then of course they're going to have the screen slanted and recessed at an angle to kind of mimic the angle of a pinball machine. I think that's kind of cool, but then again, is this thing going to hold up? Is it going to be sturdy? So we'll know more. I'll be at CES, and I'll hopefully be able to take a look at one of these. And then, whereas the Toy Shock machine, their machine is much wider and they have a larger bezel. And because of that large metal bezel, when it comes to durability and stability, you definitely have on that machine, it's built like a tank. So we'll have to see how this Arcade1Up is. It's got the replica pinball legs with adjustable feet. It's got the faux coin door with user controls. Now here's what I find very, very interesting. It has a protective acrylic top with thin metal bezel. So in all transparency, when I take a look at the thin metal bezel and the acrylic top, I hope what they're mentioning, when they mention acrylic top, I hope they're talking about maybe an acrylic that covers the back box. But I really hope that the actual acrylic top on the pinball machine, right where you typically see glass, I'm concerned is if that's an acrylic top, and let's just say it's made of the same material as their bezel acrylics that we've seen on Arcade1Ups, it makes me worried about it getting scratched, getting damaged. One thing I do like about the Toy Shock machine is that underneath that big heavy metal bezel, they have a nice piece of glass.
And that glass is also hardened, resistant to scratching. You can throw things at it, and it's probably not going to make a... well, I'm not talking like baseballs, guys, but I'm talking like, you know, if you drop your keys on it or a cup or a glass, it's not going to scratch the machine. Taking a look here makes me wonder what they mean by acrylic top. And that also could be a cost-saving measure as well if the top of the playfield is just a thin piece of plexi. So... that's very interesting, guys. Can't wait to check it out at CES.
All right, guys. So what am I thinking so far? So far, I'm thinking this looks pretty cool. But then again, I love 3/4 scale arcade anything. You guys all know that if you follow the channel. Now, when I take a look at what's running this thing, obviously it got leaked that they've partnered with Zen. So this is going to be the Zen Star Wars tables that we're going to have access to. We don't know exactly how many. I heard anywhere from 1 to 3 tables might be available. Hopefully with that Wi-Fi, you get access to more tables if you want to make this a connected pinball machine and not just do firmware updates, although firmware updates are fantastic. When it comes to Zen, I wouldn't say Pinball FX3. You definitely need much stronger and more costly processors and computing power to make that happen. If I had to guess, this is going to be a Zen imitation or what is it, like a cloned version for the Zen Android applications, like the Zen what is that, Zen Pinball Android. You play it on your phone basically, and much like how Toy Shock, in order to get their games to run on their PCB board, they had to have Farsight Studios develop a kind of like an imitation Android version that runs at about 80-85% speed on their PCB board to get the games to play on a 24-inch screen using, you know, the most cost-effective way possible. When it comes to Zen Studios, much like Farsight Studios, I'm assuming they went with an Android program. I don't think it's FX3, and they obviously got it to work on the Arcade1Up software, especially if they're going to be releasing this thing for $500, guys. So I'm not expecting FX3 in this thing, but you know, the Zen Pinball Android, if they can get it to 60 frames per second, like John mentioned on the live stream tonight on the Retro Buzz show, then the performance is probably going to be better than the Toy Shock, in all honesty, and I'm sure Toy Shock would admit that as well. For right now, on their Wave 1 pinball machines that have come out. Either way, I think this is great for all of us. I know I'm going to pick one of these bad boys up once they go for sale because, hey, it's friggin' Star Wars. But there you go. If you guys are new to the channel, please consider subscribing, as well as you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. I'll put all the links in the video description below. You definitely want to join, especially with CES next week. You want to join the Toy Shock official fan page. You want to join the At Games official fan page, the Arcade1Up official fan page, and now the Arcade1Up official pinball page on Facebook, because lots of announcements are going to be shared on those group pages right at CES. And I'll leave links to all the groups in the video description below as well. So I know that's a whole mouthful, but guys, this is great for all of us. I'm super excited. Arcade1Up, thanks for bringing this to us. I can't wait to see it. I will be at CES. Make sure you subscribe, because I'll be doing podcasts and be doing live streams, and definitely keeping you guys informed on the cool things that I see at CES. That's it. That's all I got for you on this one. Hope you guys have a fantastic weekend.